Good morning and welcome to your favorite breakfast show where you not only smell the coffee, but you actually have a taste of it. Welcome to Smell the Coffee. Good morning, my darling, my beautiful friend, the princess, or is it the queen? What is it?
I love that energy. Yes, it's giving princess. It's giving national treasure.
Yes, national treasure. I forgot that one. Yeah.
Exactly. How dare you forget the title national
And you are the
treasure.
ambassador for
Yes, I'm the global ambassador for K-pop in Africa.
Yes,
like K-culture in Africa. So yes, I wear many hats. But for today, I wear the hat of your favorite presenter here on Smell the Coffee, joined by your other favorite presenter, Glenora Shapura. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I'm quite excited to be on Smell the Coffee as always. That is quite cold. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it today? I feel like
I'm doing that.
yo.
It's cold. Shoo. You must always do that. Yes.
I feel like today is not as cold as the other days.
Yes, it's not. It's really
it's
not.
still a bit chilly.
But you know how cold it is. I have a friend who's here. He's actually going to be part of the play that I'm part of next week. So I hope to see y'all there.
Definitely.
So he came a little bit earlier so he can just spend time in Namibia. So he's German and he's coming from Hamburg, which is a very cold city. And he was like, Namibia is cold. So I'm just saying, guys.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. He was like, whoa, what is this?
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I totally agree. So I see you have a tattoo.
Yeah.
I quickly want to talk about that. I want to get a tattoo, but I'm like so scared. How bad is the pain?
Oh, it's really bad. It was so embarrassing how I got my tattoo. Like, it was.
Were you
really
drunk?
I mean, the guy had to. Because I was in and out of the room, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get the tattoo, and then I get it, and then I hear the wheel,
sound.
Then
of
I'm
the
like,
machine.
I'm quickly going to that, and they could see how scared I was. And so the tattoo artist had a friend who was visiting him, another guy.
Okay.
And then he saw how nervous I was. And then so he held my hand during the whole time, and then he was talking to me and distracting me.
Oh, that is cute. How long did it take?
It was so fast, like I think less than 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was very scared. So I would say be ready for the pain. But you have done, I don't know if I can share that, but you have piercings all over, and I think they are way more painful than.
You think
according to people.
According to people.
Yes, because I have not done that, but according to people, I'm just scared of needles.
I'm also terrified of needles, but I've always said, for my tattoo, what I would want to get first is on my ring finger with my husband. But we'll get into that after this break. We'll be back right after this short ad break. All right, now we're back for some freshly brewed news. But like I said earlier, I actually want to get a tattoo on my ring finger when I get married. Because, I mean, it's for lifers.
That's nice. I actually want to see that. I see Beyonce and JC also had something similar.
Yes, I think they have like a 4.
And then we also have a colleague who has a 20-year anniversary. 15 year anniversary.
With this
and
one.
they got
and
that.
It's so adorable.
So, cute.
So I want to get one like right there because, you know, it's for lifers. But I still want my $1 million engagement ring. So, yeah. But starting us off, a Nigerian online prankster should be arrested, according to police. Police in Nigeria are calling on victims of an internet prankster to come forward and report him for the distress he has caused them. Trinity Guy films and uploads skits to social media for his thousands of viewers. Some of these show him pretending to be shot dead to the shock of unsuspecting passers-by. I think the guy should have been arrested. Those individuals who feel the heat and fear of the pranks should should be reporting the pranksters, as many of their pranks are immoral and evil, commented police spokesman Olumuyiwa Adejobi about the video. These women have a good case against him. Like, why? Just why? Like, just, no, like, seriously, why? You did this for what? Like,
for me, I think I think we need to stop looking at the video because the video that you chose for this though.
This one is less horrendous.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the other things that he does are basically just.
I hear you. You know,
I miss the era
but it's the audacity for me, because now there's a lady in the video defending her friend or someone else, and then he
still yanks her.
Okay, it's not funny.
Why?
It's not funny, but he must
like
not.
Imagine now
It's
you're
harassment.
it is harassment, because now
what are you going to do
scared.
with my wig if you run with it? You know, these things are expensive.
They're very expensive, because
Like,
also they're
really
not going to know
expensive.
that it's a prank. They're going to think it's someone that's just trying to steal their wig so that he could sell them to make money.
Yes.
That is harassment.
That
I
is
miss
harassment.
the era of those harmless pranks. You remember when we were growing up and we would watch those bloopers, or what were they
Yes.
called? I forgot.
I remember, no.
You remember them, right? Gotcha, yeah.
Gotcha or Just for Laughs. Yes, I
Just
know
for
what you
laughs,
mean.
gags, yes, those
gags,
ones.
Yes, those
Those were
funny.
harmless. They were funny. You know, like
a person comes up to you pretending to be whatever, and then you have to help them or not. Different
there was
scenarios.
one that I watched
Yeah.
where basically this girl is sitting there and she's drinking water, and this guy is hiding but close by. So every time she drinks, there's a sound. So she goes,
What is that? What is
and then
that?
she takes a straw,
Yeah.
and then she starts drinking with the straw, and this guy has the sound, and he just starts going. So now she's like, am I the one that's making these? You know, so those are funny.
That's harmless
That's
as well.
harmless. It's not harming anyone.
Exactly.
But now, all of a sudden, you know, the thing is, we're doing so much for TikTok. Content creation shall kill the youth. Because now, if you come and grab my wig, and I know Krav Maga, I'm going to move you.
Yes.
I am really going to slam you
And
to the
it's not
ground.
funny, because I saw another one of a guy who was with a leaf. He had a leaf blower, and he was blowing off the wigs. And it got so bad that one girl, she would pick up her wig, and then she's trying to run away from him, and he's running
with the leaf blower chasing after her.
So I'm just like, that's harassment. It's
No,
now
that is
it's
harassment.
gone beyond the funny part. Now I just can't have.
It's why I need to learn
Yes.
self-defense, so that anytime someone tries to harass me in the street,
Come through
I'm
for
pulling out all
kickboxing
my
lessons.
stunts, kickboxing, Krav Maga. I'm going to grab you and slam you to
So
the ground.
are you
That's
of
what I
the
want.
opinion he should get arrested? 'Cause
Definitely.
I think it is.
Definitely, it's
To a
harassment.
degree, it is harassment.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it's not funny anymore.
It's really not hilarious at all. It's a dry joke, sir.
Well, moving on to a story that's maybe not as hilarious, and
Okay.
I don't know. This topic is always we need to always tread lightly.
Okay.
Elon Musk has announced that the words cis and cisgender are now considered slurs on Twitter. Now, pronounced cisgender, the term is one that's become more common over the years amid more open discussions about gender and the differences between what gender people are assigned at birth and how they personally identify. Cisgender, or cis for short, relates to people who identify as the same gender they were assigned at birth. So if a doctor called out it's a boy when you are born and you still identify as a man today, then you are a cisgender. Now, the term in itself is it's a simple way to distinguish cisgender people from transgender or non-binary people, but Twitter owner Musk made the declaration that it was banned after claims made about the use of the words by another user. Now, James Esses, a writer and commentator whose bio says he focuses on the impact of ideology on society and the safeguarding of children, said he was hit with backlash after announcing that he didn't want to be called cisgender. He wrote, "Yesterday, after posting a tweet saying that I reject the word cis and don't wish to be called it, I received a slew of messages from trans activists calling me sissy and telling me that I am cis whether or not I like it. Just imagine if the roles were reversed." Now, Musk responded the following day to imply that the responses Esses had received constituted repeated targeted harassment, and he added the word cis or cisgender are considered slurs on the platform.
Yeah, ne?
Yeah, I told you that topic
Yeah,
is always...
it's quite heavy, man.
It's a heavy topic to always... And it's so hard to talk about it because the moment I say something, because I don't understand,
offend someone,
and it's offensive, and then I am transphobic or something.
Yes. You're definitely going to offend someone. I always say topics like this, if you're not within the community, rather stay away from them because you don't know what you're going to say that is going to offend someone.
But he had a good point. I prefer to be called, I don't want to be identified as a cisgender or whatever the term is. I didn't need to be labeled as a man or a straight man my whole entire life, you know.
And also, like the guy said,
I prefer not to be called that.
If the roles were reversed,
yes,
then it would be a whole other discussion.
Yes, exactly. So there's a lot of like, there's both pro and against what Elon Musk has said.
I just say if you don't really know anything about this, just stay away from the conversation completely. Just don't. Because like I said, we live in a time where anyone is bound to get offended by what you say. I could literally be like, oh, Glenn, I like your hair. And you'd be like, what made you assume it's my hair? You know, like it's... Like right now, everything that you have to be careful about every little thing that you say because you can offend someone. But at the same time, you still have to be nice to everyone that you meet.
Can we be humane about
Let's
this?
just be humane about it, you know. If someone identifies as something, just refer to them as that. That's their identity. Why are you coming to decide, no, that's not what you identify as?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That I'm not happy with.
Obviously, the conversation becomes a little more provocative when grown men start identifying as little kids. Then that's a whole other discussion.
Anyways, like we said, this discussion is, we tread lightly with it.
We tread lightly. But anyway, moving over to something that we won't tread lightly on. A woman who's 30 storms out of own wedding after boyfriend stages a surprise ceremony. A woman has revealed how she stormed out of her own wedding after her boyfriend blindsided her with a surprise ceremony. The 30-year-old took to Reddit to share her predicament after falling out with her partner of 5 years over her exit, but remains firmly convinced that she was right to ditch him at the altar. Her strange experience began when boyfriend Mark invited her to what she believed was only a fancy party at a posh venue, which she prepared for by wearing her best attire. But as she entered the grand hall, the unnamed woman said she was completely taken aback to see all of her friends, family, and acquaintances gathered, eagerly waiting. It turned out that Mark had orchestrated an elaborate surprise wedding for the couple without giving her any notice at all. Overcome with doubt, the would-be wife pulled Mark aside and told him of her concerns about the arrangement. She told him she wanted a say in the planning process, to be part of the decision making, and to have the chance to prepare mentally and emotionally for such a significant milestone in their lives. But the overeager boyfriend reportedly batted away her concerns, saying that he thought she would be thrilled at the romantic gesture.
I don't know if that's romantic or a
that's
form
an
of control.
ambush.
Yeah,
that is an ambush.
Control. I don't know if that's, because I don't know, there's some things as women, we have that intuition, right? Yeah. There's a case where somebody had made breakfast for me, and then they fed me the breakfast.
Okay.
I went home and I'm like, I'm not seeing you again. This is some control stuff.
We're not doing this again.
We're not doing this again. Yeah, and it turns out it's a control freak who wants to, you know what I mean?
Control every little situation.
Yes.
I feel like with him,
I think it's
something similar.
Manipulative tactic.
I think
how
with
do I
him,
corner you into a wedding like that?
No, I think what happened was, you know how we are as women. Like, okay, let me not speak for all women, but I, as Diana, you know about my wedding. You know how extravagant it's supposed to be. You know how I want everything. Yeah. And obviously, that's going to cost big bank, right?
Yes.
So I think this man, maybe over the 5 years, he heard how excited she was to plan their wedding and how she wanted this and how she wanted that. And all he was hearing was cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So he was like, if I do this, then we're not going to spend all that money on the wedding. Yeah. I think that was just a way for him to avoid spending so much money on the wedding. But it was wrong because he should have just included her in the planning process. Have a discussion.
And that's also going back to communication.
Yes, have a discussion. Listen, we don't have... Okay, this is our budget.
Yeah, I don't have as much money.
I don't have as much money. This is our budget.
Yeah.
Let's use this money. Because, I mean, we've seen Pinterest brides, DIY brides. You can do so many things on a small budget. You know, so he should have just been open and said, okay, listen, I know you want a big, extravagant wedding. We can't afford that right now. So here's what we can do. And they come up with a solution. He shouldn't have ambushed her like that. He really
like
shouldn't
I
have.
said, it's also a manipulation tactic.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow. And it's not healthy. Maybe it's good that they, you know.
It's good that she walked out.
Yes, exactly.
It's good that she walked
There's
out.
a lot of red flags there.
Yeah.
Now, rounding off our stories, a woman spent 1.5 hours on makeup during contractions to look like a baby giving birth. She even put on huge false eyelashes. A mom did a full face of makeup, including false lashes, while in labor, so she would look perfect for the birth. And she says it didn't budge despite hours of crying. Now, Tina Aragon decided after her first pregnancy that she wanted to get glammed up, so she looked flawless in photos for any future children she had. Now, when Tina went into labor, she spent an hour and a half applying a full glam makeup look from her hospital bed, including huge false eyelashes, while 5 centimeters dilated.
Big purr.
Big purr.
Big purr. That is about to be me.
I was just like, what?
That is about to be
You
me.
told me about how painful the process is.
Oh,
and
no,
I'm just like,
oof.
who has time to, like, you know,
Like,
contour,
I would understand.
blend in the makeup, the...
I would understand if she was doing this after. I would understand if she was doing this, right? After she gave birth and they have to take those pictures. Because in all honesty, that pain is a lot. Like it's your labor is it's not a joke. And my labor was relatively short. Like it was 5 hours max.
Yeah.
But in those 5 hours, the pain that you feel, I can't imagine having to put on eyebrows, a full face, eyelashes.
And so I'm like,
whole shebang.
what? Well,
And
5
also-
centimeters dilated, she was putting on makeup.
And also, you know that with some hospitals, wearing makeup is, okay, I know for surgery especially, because the thing is, they need to check your skin tone to see if you're pale, if you're losing blood, anything like that. Even your fingertips, even your nails, you're not allowed to have like nail polish or acrylic
Really?
nails because they can check under to see what's happening. So that's usually like the first sign. So they'll check your fingertips and they'll be like, okay, listen, your nails, there's something there. You know, it's a sign of an underlying condition. But now if you have these long acrylic nails, they can't tell.
They can't tell.
If you have this layer of foundation, they can't tell if you're pale or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that brings us to the end of our stories.
We'll be back after the break as Renal Peters of the Ruach Elohim Foundation talks to our colleague Precious about the work that she does. Stick around.
Are seated at the Ruach Elohim Foundation next to Ms. Renal Peters. Renal, how are you doing?
Very fine, thank you very much.
Okay, so we are at the foundation today. Can you just give us a brief insight for our viewers in other parts of the country that don't have an idea on what the foundation is about?
Ruach Elohim Foundation was started in 2018 due to the constant rise of baby dumping in Namibia. And we started this foundation so that we could be a safe haven for mommies, desperate mothers who do not see any other way than dumping their children or killing their children or doing an abortion. So we decided to open our house and open our hearts so that we can accommodate and care for these babies, unwanted babies, unplanned pregnancies, any desperate mother who don't see a way forward with a baby.
Now you mentioned the foundation started around about 2018.
Yes.
So when you started, with how many babies did you start?
Well, of course, when we started the foundation, when we opened the foundation in March 2018, we did not have any baby yet. We had to register with the Ministry of Gender as a place of safety, and only after that, in the same year, 2018 November, we received our very first baby that was abandoned in the location, and then we had the privilege of taking care of her until she was adopted.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you guys work with an adoption agency as well?
Yes, we work very closely with the Ministry of Gender. So once we receive a baby through our baby saver box, which we will elaborate on a little bit later, we let our social worker in our region know that we have received a baby. And then after following all procedures and the baby is not claimed back by the family or the mother, then that baby will go for adoption to an approved family, adoptive family that registered with the Ministry of Gender.
I think that's a very nice initiative, and also the fact that you work closely with the Ministry of Gender to eventually find beautiful homes for these babies. But I know you mentioned having started the foundation in March and only receiving your first baby in November. I see a lot of equipment here that cater to a lot of babies and make it comfortable for them. So how did the start of that go?
Well, I must tell you, I had this vision of this baby house for many, many, many years before I started it. So right through the years, I have accumulated a lot of stuff. I always had this baby house in mind. I always wanted to do something for vulnerable babies. But yes, after we initially started the foundation, and after receiving our very first baby, and after that one, the second one, then I realized, okay, we have to provide for these babies, maybe in a bigger scale than I was thinking.
Yeah.
And so then we got the cribs and yeah, everything that followed with that.
Now, speaking of the baby saver box, I know it's that's what the foundation is famous for. Where mothers can simply just come drop your baby on a nice and soft pillowcase, and you guys get alerted, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Yeah, so just a little bit in depth about the baby saver box.
The baby saver box is there to help desperate mommies who wants to get rid of their babies, mothers who are thinking of abandonment, killing their babies, aborting their babies. That is absolutely there for those mothers, but also for the babies, because it definitely saves the life of a baby who is placed in the baby saver box. So we have started the baby saver box. It's an automated electronic box. Once the mother opens the baby box and she puts the baby inside the box, then we will receive an alert. We are 7 people who will receive a message on our phone to say that there's a baby in the baby saver box. Okay. Now, once a mother places her baby inside the box and she closes the box, the box will not be open. It cannot be opened from outside anymore. It locks automatically, which means that the baby is safely inside. No one can steal the baby. And then we come from the back side of our boundary wall, from the back side of the box, and we will then open the box, take out the baby. We are already on our second baby saver box. Because of the weather in Swakopmund, the old one was, it got easily rusted. And now we've got a new box with a see-through window, so which makes it also very easy to see once there is a baby in the box. But like I said, we are 7 people that get an alert from the baby saver box, and I think it's a good thing to say that that gives a baby 7 times more chance of survival than being dumped in a rubbish bin.
Yeah.
Because, unfortunately, no one gets a notification once a baby is dropped in a rubbish bin. Whereas our baby saver box, we immediately know if there's a baby in the baby saver box. We will take out the baby and then also take the baby to be seen by a health practitioner, just to see if everything is okay. And then we will let our Ministry of Gender know that we received the baby through the box. There's also a letter in the baby saver box for the mommy that will tell her exactly what's going to happen now with her baby. So it will tell her that the baby is safe, and that the baby will now go for medical treatment if need be. But also the procedure after that, if she wants to have the baby back, she has got 30 days to claim back the baby. Once the baby is not claimed back within the time span of 30 days, then the baby might be available for adoption, and then the baby might be adopted if she comes back after that time. So that is why the law requires from us to give the mother 30 days time.
Yeah.
If she decided that maybe she made a mistake and she wants to come back, she can come back anytime through that 30 days.
I think it's very thoughtful, especially the message that you guys leave, and also just explaining everything. Also just a sort of like a reassurance just for her to know that your baby is in safe hands and you have 30 days to come back if that is what you desire.
What a great initiative that is. Well, that brings us to the end of yet another exciting, insightful, gossipy episode of Smell the Coffee with Diana Master and Glenn Rashipura. On that note, it's all our love, all our light, and
Adios.